This is RC.
It's your girl K Marie.
Hey Wilk.
It's your boy Black.
Your girl Lady.
And I'm Sir. And you listening to
2020.
2020.
2020.
2020. 2020.
2020 podcast.
2020. I did that one for you.
Thank you for tuning in to another special edition of the Business Minute. I'm your boy Sir, and this episode is more of a podcast than anything. I was fortunate enough a couple months back to visit the Mobile DerbyDarlings, and they invited me to their humble abode to record them for a special podcast. I got an opportunity to interview them. To say the least, they are hilarious. I really enjoyed my time with the ladies. And if you were having a bad day, sit back, relax, and get ready to laugh, because this is one of my favorites.
We're gonna be like 4 subtitles. Select one.
That's clever. I like that. All right.
I like this dude.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining today. I'm your host, Sir. By the way, that's my name. I go by Sir. And this is a business minute. Today, I'm joined by the Mobile DerbyDarlings. They were gracious enough to have me in their humble abode, and I'm eternally thankful because, like I said, we need sponsorships. So, if you could, one by one, just introduce yourself from this direction on.
I'm Felicia, or Killer Shark. Yep.
I thought we were just doing names and I cut it off.
No, you're fine.
Alright. To what? Gritty and pink.
Becca, Arts and Crash.
My name's Rebecca, and I'm B-Rec.
Hannah, Killer Banana.
I'm Becky, Soccer Mom.
Okay.
Justina, Lady McDeath.
Jennifer, or Toxic Skittles.
That's dope.
Yeah. And I'm Rachel, Ray Bees.
That's dope too. I like that.
Ask her how she got that name.
Yeah.
How did you get
Start with the stories.
So I was, I'd had a couple drinks one night.
That's how all great stories start.
Held my beer.
I was Rainbow Gash at this point, but yes, and
Okay.
I went back home, and I think raccoons are like so super cute and fluffy, and I definitely might have tried to pet one, but I also played tug of war with it, and it bit my finger. And so the rabies virus tattooed on my hand. There's a little raccoon tattooed on my finger.
I'm gonna get a picture of that.
There's a video on YouTube.
Yep.
Word?
Yes, there's a
Oh,
video
we're
on
linking
YouTube.
We're totally linking that. Oh my god. Okay.
Did you just get mind blown?
I did. And like it hasn't even been like 5 minutes. It's
Okay,
perfect.
just remember this is Derby, and you just have to expect the unexpected. Especially when you're with a lot of females. It's just how it goes.
All right. Fair enough. I will not judge. I will just laugh. And I'll take any stories you guys have. Now, I feel like it's only fair. Normally my name is Sir for the podcast, but everybody has a cool name, so I want a cool name. So
Alright.
I think I should be given a cool name.
But we weren't given, we chose. We named
You
ourselves.
chose your
We
name?
named ourselves.
So you,
Or you get bit by raccoons.
you look
Or
at
you
like
get-
your favorite things.
I don't want that.
What you love in life, and you
Like radio things.
right. Like if that's
You
your
mean like
passion,
podcasts,
then you would
music,
try to make a word play for your name.
Well, I have a wordplay.
Okay.
My kids play soccer, obviously, so I'm soccer mom, but it's not spelled soccer like soccer ball. It's spelled SOCAHER, soccer.
Ah, okay.
I don't have
okay.
any wordplay. The only reason I got mine, when I first started, I was horrible. I was always falling. I was always crashing into shit. Like, I won't even lie. You can ask them. And I was in graphic design for a long time, about a year. And so art's always been one of my passions. So I did arts and crafts.
That's
And
dope.
makeup, makeup I would do for the bout because I've been thinking about it. Paintbrushes under my eyes, dripping the blood.
That's a bit extreme. All right, but I like it. I see it. I see it. It just went from, paintbrushes under. I'm like, okay, of blood. Okay.
Like,
So what
I'm
we're
ready to demolish y'all.
All right. I like the spirit of competition.
I think he's scared. I think
slightly.
Bring your skates on Monday.
Yeah.
I can't skate, believe it or not.
We couldn't either at some point.
We have a newbie pool. You could be in our newbie pool.
You can roll with me. I'm a
Dude,
starter.
listen, I'm afraid. Like,
Look,
There's
if you
some-
don't take life,
See?
Don't be scared.
if you don't take life by risk, then you're not living life.
see, she laughed after that. See?
Okay, so in all fairness, we don't do contact for a while with our newbies.
We're learning.
Yeah. You have to build up to that point.
I tell you what, let me pray about it first. Let me get my will together.
Okay, there you go.
And then, you know,
Notify
we'll
your
work
next
Look,
of kin.
we
Exactly.
got protection too. We provide the helmets and the knee pads, the skates, all of that, everything you need.
See, it'd be just my luck though. It'd be like I put on all this body protection and die of a heart attack. Like, that's the type
between
of
you
luck.
and God.
We do
can't
have
help
an
it.
That's what I'm saying. I think
Pray about
God
it. Get back
would
to
have
us.
like the perfect sense of humor. He's like, wait for it.
Now. But we have an
We have an
EMT that worked
EMT on
there.
the team.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got your back. You're good.
Yeah. I mean,
We can keep you alive till the end.
You straight.
yeah.
Well,
We got you. You adult podcast member. We got you.
You're making me feel like family. And I appreciate that.
That is the Derby community family.
Okay.
Since day one.
All right. So speaking of this organization, I do want to ask, like, how long have you guys been active?
This is my 4th season. I came to one practice and bought my skates the next day. I was hooked,
Whoa.
and I haven't looked back.
That's what's up. Gotcha.
I started about 2 years ago. I had 1 full year last year. So my first practice was their last practice of the season.
Oh,
Yeah. And then I came.
okay. Dedication, I'm with it.
I've been on and off for a couple years, but they've been honestly really good to me. They've been working through everything I've been through, and so just came back Monday to start back. Open arms, like, oh my God, you're back. Like, what's up?
That's what's
And
up.
so you can't. Once you start, you can't leave. You have friends forever and family forever.
And I will say that when I first walked in, I did kind of get that vibe that everybody's a family here, because everybody was comfortably saying these nuts.
That would be me.
So once you hear that, you pretty much assume that everybody's good. I was laughing to myself. Like, I was like,
No holds bar here.
yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
We don't expect you to knock when you come in the door. You just come in.
Well, I will knock.
Yeah, I heard the doorbell ring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
call
right.
We'll make sure you're at the right house. You know?
Yeah.
Next time, don't knock. But this time,
I
okay.
did call because I was like, well, there are a lot of cars here and here.
Yeah.
See, I call her on my way here and I'll be like, hey, I'm on the way. She knows I'm on the way. I still ding, 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 wait for the dog to come up and then she's coming.
Oh, that's cool. All right.
I was kind of the same thing. Went to one of the first clinics the end of the last season, and fell in love with it. And told my husband how cheap it was going to be because it was just a couple bucks to try it out. And then I was like Amazon and everything left and right. And now I've got the whole garb, and now I've got to commit because I'm in debt to it. And it's a great. I'm a mama too, and this is something that's for me. And learn with a bunch of women that empower you to do better, and when it sucks to try harder. And I just want to be cool like them, so I'm going to try real hard.
Pardon my French, but fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Your French is pardon.
Thank you.
I'm same as her. Came in towards the end of the last season, took a break for the holidays, and back. Got my year.
We're going to figure it out.
We're gonna make it work.
Y'all got this. It won't be long. You'll be bouting.
Okay, soccer mom.
I've been with it for a little over 3 years, about 3.5 years. I love it. So, I'm an older one on the team, and I love it. It's like she said, it's for me. It's something I do for me. My family is extremely busy. We're always on the go. I get to travel soccer. This is something that I can do for myself, that I very much enjoy. I need it to stay a sane person.
To do everything else.
I like to hit people.
Yes.
And we're allowed to hit people. We
Yeah.
don't get arrested for
It's hard to
hitting
do
people.
without catching
Not
the
like at
charge,
Walmart,
let's be
like
honest,
we're in a
Or where the old people run over your toes with the fucking scooter.
And then they don't say excuse.
Yeah.
That's the part that pisses me off.
That's where we get out all that aggression.
Yeah. If kids drive you crazy for the day, you're like,
Got it.
Right, I hit all the bitches.
That's the slogan.
And
Yeah,
touch all the butts. butts. Yeah, don't forget the butts.
Yes, hit the bitches and touch the butts.
I'm not gonna lie, all the bitches should be like in caps somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, what's going on?
Well, about 4 years ago, I felt her joy, and I've been stalking her. From behind bushes. I eventually progressed to where I was in the rink, and I was doing it behind vending machines.
This isn't creepy at all. Tell me about it.
You know, they're gonna end the podcast right here.
About 3 months ago, I felt like I needed to touch her more, so.
More like it happened before. You look so different when you're awake.
I mean, I've been in a room.
Oh shit!
While she's sleeping, probably at the foot of her bed. The way that followed up.
You're just gonna like feel a wet spot on her. She's gonna lick your arm or something. Not asleep.
You smell so different.
Oh.
I love hearing your breath at night. How the fuck do you know what I sound like when I breathe?
I mean,
I was in your room. I got you, bro.
okay. No, I haven't done that.
Y'all are line pushers and I love it.
There's a lot of yeah, that's my story.
I didn't start like that. I've been playing derby for this year will be 9 years.
Whoa, all right. OG.
I'm too young to be an OG.
So what, like, I have to ask, is there, like, with playing for 9 years, is there, like, any differences you see? Like, most people say, you know.
Coming good. Hopefully all these will stay. Hopefully.
If she leaves, I'm
You
gone.
don't mean
I'm
that.
only here for her, so yeah.
I'm not going. But
You leave, I'm
I
gone.
played on 4 different teams.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we're a
Journey.
good team right now.
What's up?
Alright, ladies.
Alright. So first of all, I'm gonna really need to step up my stalker game. Because you are good. Like, okay, I'm gonna need some pointers, dude.
Oh shit.
I started in Augusta, Georgia, in 2013-ish, and then played over there for a couple of years. All in memories. Got some injuries, all kinds of crazy stuff. Then didn't play for a few years. And I started with this team. This is the start of my second year here with the Derby Darlings. And they're so freaking awesome. I don't know if I'll ever be able to like travel for work or anything.
There will never be another team like us.
I just can't.
If you need help,
Okay.
Or you can just hit my line and I'll accept you in my house. We can go stalk people together.
Team stalking. I love it.
I got handcuffs if you need some help.
I got plenty of those.
All right.
We're very open about everything.
Judgment-free zone.
That's what it's sure, because we
That's
can
what
make
I'm
it to
saying.
where you judge us.
Somebody asked me, why do you do this? And I'm like, those people are awesome. Like a bunch of wet blankets don't join roller derby. Like, it's a good team.
Good point. Good point.
They're fun to be with.
I lived in Mobile for, let's see, quite a few years and didn't know anybody. And then joined roller derby, and now I know all these awesome people.
Oh, see, I
think that's like one of the best things in the world because I grew up here in Mobile. Then I moved to Huntsville for 15 years and came back. I feel old. And then when I came back, all of my friends they're gone. We don't have really much in common. So once you find that circle, it's like a haven within your home.
Yes,
so
it is.
I feel that.
See, I travel about an hour and a half, depending on the drive to come to the team. I live across the bay.
Oh man!
And so this is like I do it every time I get the money. You know, I'll make sure I have the money just to come to practice.
That's dedication.
It's like that relief that you get being, you know, on the track, being able to take everything you have built up. Everything that you've been bottling up, just you're able to take it out and they won't judge you. You can ball in front of these girls. Like, I've done it before, I won't even lie. They've been through so much hell and back with me, and they're still sticking by my side.
I love that. Catharsis. That's the word that comes to mind when you think of that. And because I'm going to be honest with you, someone asked me to drive 10 minutes up the road, I'm asking what for. And to hear that
how important is it?
Exactly. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being someone's dying.
Right.
So And 9 being...
Right, me and her drive from Mississippi, but I have 2 kids, so I get to drive 40 minutes with my music on, talking to my girlfriend, having a snack by myself, like without sharing. Like this is a great time.
I like
gelling out
without sharing.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice to just be by myself. It doesn't happen very much.
So how often do you guys get together?
So right now we're doing practices once a week. If we can get our team built up, we can go to 2 times a week.
Okay.
And it really helps out once we get to 2 times a week. So if anybody wants to come and play, come see us.
Oh, a shameful plug. Where can they come see you guys?
We're Googleable. You can Google Derby near me will pop up. That's how I got it.
Yeah.
It's also on Facebook. That's how I learned.
Yeah.
I did follow you guys on Facebook.
We go to Dreamland in Tillman's Corner. You do have to find us on Facebook to figure out when we'll be there, because sometimes we go on Mondays, sometimes we go on Thursdays. It just kind of depends. And then the days we don't, we either come to somebody's house and work out, or we go to a parking lot and practice just to get some skate time in.
Okay. And do you guys have an email address that we can shout out just in case?
Not really.
Okay.
We don't have time for that. We're too busy.
We don't really have a team email. We have like our individual emails that we usually use.
Facebook's the best way to message.
Facebook.
Okay, get them up on Facebook, y'all.
Yes.
MDD, Mobile Derby Darling.
That's how I found
Me too.
Same, yeah.
I was like, I want to play Derby again. Like,
it just popped up on my random feed. And I was like, oh my god, it's a sign.
Really?
Well, I was
a sponsor. It was a sponsor that showed up.
Yeah,
a sponsored post.
the newbie event.
Yeah, and I saw it and I was like, oh, Tommy, I told my husband, look what's come up. He's like, oh dear God, when are you gonna have time for this? I'm like, I'm gonna make time.
And we accept men and women, co-ed. We actually have a men's team, but we don't have enough people on the team to make it a team. So, you know, if there's some guys out there that want to come and play, or if you don't want to play, you can come and ref. You can come in NSO, which is a non-skating official. But you come to our games and you get to learn about the game. You get to see it. You get in free if you volunteer with us, stuff like that. It's really awesome.
All right. Well, I'll make sure to plug that as well. I do have a respect for the officiating, because you guys had a link on your page about the new rules for this year, and it was like a 20-minute video.
There's a lot of rules.
The doctor. Yes. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
I still have no clue.
I was there for like 8 minutes. I was like, I have no idea what this means.
The best way to learn is to be a non-skating official. Yeah. You sit on the sidelines and you either time a penalty or
scoreboard.
Yeah, you can do the scoreboard. You can do the lineup, but you're sitting right there by the track and you can watch everything happening.
And you have to pay attention because you're tracking everything. And I learned more probably from penalty tracking with this team than I probably did like trying to play and not knowing anything about it.
So you've done penalty tracking.
And I've done lineup tracking and scorekeeping, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I've done the scorekeeping, which is hard to keep up with when you're learning. But one of our team members, she actually made a specific computer, like she specifically has her keyboard set up to make it easier on people when they're learning.
Yeah.
So you have 2 people sitting beside me, like I'm working on the computer, one person's here tracking this team and one person's here tracking the other team. At the end of the game, they add up their score and make sure it's correct. But you also have to make sure you pay attention. The only thing that sucks is I can't cheer for my team because I'm going for both. Yeah, I'm neutral. So that was the only thing that sucked. And there were so many great moves when I was doing it. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I just really want to cheer, but I don't want to get kicked out. Like.
There's also on the side of the scoreboard, keeping track of the ref, making sure all the points are going in the right places. Yep. So there are a lot of NSO places or positions where you can learn the game.
Yep. So would it be safe to assume that if you're new to the sport, it'd probably be best just to get a feel and understanding to start there and then work your way up?
You can if you want, yeah.
That's what I did last season.
I need to do that this season. I have a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn.
Yeah, it sounds pretty beneficial.
Besides just the skating part.
Right, that's hard enough. And then there's rules and stuff.
It's like Pensacola's got a team, New Orleans has a team. Dothan has a team, Montgomery. We'll go to surrounding teams if they need help and they need NSOs.
That's dope.
We'll send, and they'll do the same. We'll send people who might need to learn things if they're having a game. We'll send them over there to NSO, and that way they learn as well. Okay. So yeah,
that's cool. Bettering everybody.
Yeah, we try to support each other because
it's a small community.
Yeah. Not a lot of people know about us, and then. it's hard to keep the sport going because we don't have a lot of support here.
They don't like the workouts that we do.
It's
pretty intense. Like the learning the part, like the pre-workouts, the skating and stuff. A lot of people don't like when they do the first couple of days, like practices. I know some people.
You have to build your muscles.
Yeah,
you use them a lot.
Yeah.
So it's important to do those hard workouts.
Muscles,
Yeah. Or it sucks even worse when you're trying to do it and you have nothing to hold you up.
Sport.
Yeah.
So
if
you're gonna be sore, basically.
Especially when you're getting hit all the time.
And I mean, it's like the game in Monroe. Like I left with almost cracked ribs and a black eye.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's part of the fun.
Yeah. they're
Battle wounds.
They're trophies.
Ask me what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so battle scars is the term I like. Okay. So if I could delve into the organization a little bit more as a whole, I have a couple questions. Now that we've kind of touched on why everybody's joined, like are there any, how do I say, obstacles that you guys are encountering as far as games or anything, or like just anything standing out
Keeping
there?
us going?
So the biggest thing we're struggling with is building our team up, and we are looking for a venue.
Okay.
We, because we're small, we can't pay a lot of money for a venue. And so right now we're trying to find somewhere to have our games. So if anybody knows anything.
Anybody have a warehouse they want to donate or pass on?
Yeah.
We'll accept.
Or just let us, use a couple nights or, on a Saturday. Stuff like that. Yeah. Those are our biggest hurdles. Venue and having people stick it out after the first month usually.
Yeah.
Some people.
You get gung ho and it's exciting, but then you're like, crap, it's gonna be really hard.
It's hard work.
This is
Yeah.
hard.
It's a commitment.
This is the hardest
It's a
thing
time
I've done
commitment.
in since I was a kid playing sports and things. But as an
Football on
adult,
skates without the ball.
yeah, you don't try real hard for certain things as adults. You just kind of live your life. But I'm gonna have to work my ass off to be halfway decent at this.
Right.
And I'm just beginning. It is no joke. And I showed up at that first practice and I was like, what the hell did I get myself into? And then I was like, Amazoning everything. I love it so much. It's a love-hate. I'm excited to see how hard it's going to be to do it. But you have to work. You have to get the commitment of keep coming back and not getting sidetracked.
Yes.
I respect that, and at the same time, I understand where you have to look at it in another aspect as well, because I joined a fraternity in college as well, and our primary thing, we were really big on community service, huge. So the one thing they would say is, we don't want T-shirt wearers.
Right.
We don't want you to come here and think you're in,
Absolutely.
and you're just going to coast
Gotta
through.
put the work in. Yep.
Exactly. So where I would encourage you to look at it this way: those who fell off for a reason,
Right.
and the ones who stayed, family.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the way I have to look at it.
Right.
We also have, once you get into it, and after that first month and the newness wears off, we have certain guidelines that everybody has to abide by. Like, to play in a game, you have to have an event point. You have to make all of our meetings. You have to make a certain amount of parades because we do Mardi Gras. There are a lot of things that you have to put in, and that you're giving up some nights with your family, and it's hard. As a mom of four, I have a lot of guilt when I'm out 3 nights in a row because of Derby. But I know that if I don't do it, that I'll regret it, and so will they. They need a mom that's healthy, and this gets me there. So.
Right.
No, I respect that. I was going to ask, were there any eligibility requirements or anything like that? And I do respect that. I like that. That is kind of a stickler. It shows your dedication to the overall sport rather than just the fun of it. You have to put in the legs,
Right.
'cause,
Yeah, and you do have to. You also have to meet a certain amount of practices before a game. So, within an 8-week period, you have to meet 75% of our practices.
I respect that.
And there's a really hard test you have to pass
Yes.
in order to
You have
skate.
you have to do a
context.
written test.
Yeah.
It's multiple choice, but it's on the rules and things like that. And it's 50 questions, and it's really tricky, especially if you don't know the game.
And
That's
of our
another
physical
reason.
test.
Yes.
Every year.
Yeah.
It's a skill test.
Yes.
Renew it every year. A skill test and a written
Minimum
test you have to
skills,
pass.
Yeah.
before you're allowed to do any
And
contact.
it's quite a list. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
no
think
joke.
the-
It's not
I
just
think-
like going to the park and hanging out. Like you're committed. and you
Yeah,
have to
the
learn.
worst one though is your 27 and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to
27
do-
laps in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And it's hell. Oh my God.
I think the first
Makes
time
your
I
back
ever
hurt.
did it, I did
Legs
18 and a half
are-
laps.
Middle of school, guys.
And that's all I could make.
I'm over here still feeling like a baby giraffe. Like so, it's going to be a while.
Some people just get it. They get it and they pass it and they're good. I'm in my 4th season and I'm stuck at 25 laps.
Still struggling.
I
right.
cannot get those last 2 laps right
They
now.
added it to it, right? Didn't they just add that up?
No, it's been
it's-
like that for a while.
It's as long as I've been.
It was 25 there for a little while, and then they.
I'd
moved
read
it up
something
to
about 25.
27.
Right.
It was like 25 to qualify, but 27 was like the standard of what you're supposed to be able to
It's
do.
gonna test you as a person. I'm just
Yes,
gonna tell
yes,
you.
it does.
Yeah.
You're out there and you're like 2 minutes in, and you're like, "Why am I doing this?
Right.
Why are you?"
What did I sign up
And then your
for?
legs start burning. You're
I could
like,
be
fuck, I
eating
really need to
something
just
right
not
now.
do this anymore. Like, and then you're thirsty.
lungs.
The left
Yes,
side
oh.
from going around.
Yes.
And
Which is why you have to do the core
Exactly.
workouts in order to be able to do the skating
Yeah.
for
See, like,
5
I
minutes
smoke
straight.
black and milds. I smoke 2 black and milds a day. And so my long workout,
When she said, no, I'm sorry. When she said black and miles, those were college.
Right. There's a reason you left them behind, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to requirements to actually coming to a first practice, you could have never ever put on a single pair of skates in your entire life.
And try it out.
And you come in, we have skates for you to use, helmets, pads, everything, and we're gonna put you with Vic DeMiser. He's our newbie coach, right? Isn't that awesome?
he's a
So
top.
his name is Vic, and so his derby name is Vic DeMiser.
Got it.
Yeah,
I love
it took me until like a couple months ago to realize what his name stood for. I never said it out loud. I just called him Vic, and then I said it out loud. Oh,
That just got weird.
yeah.
A little awkward.
He's a great guy.
You have to be.
He really is.
Oh my
You have
God.
to.
Like because he's thrifty, and so
Yes.
he always liked to say thrifty. But if you say it, it's different.
victimizing.
Yeah.
I mean,
But he
She's
is
totally not.
amazing.
No.
He will teach you everything you need to know. He'll help you get everything on, and then he's going to teach you how to skate, and he's going to get you started. You're going to learn all the basics, and then you come into the Shark Tank, and we're going to eat you. I'm just kidding.
That's the cool.
That sounded nice. Wish you would. We're gonna eat you.
Shark Week.
Oh no, nobody likes Shark Week around here. Change that.
Oh my God. Leave that out.
Oh, okay.
Becca.
Is that actually a thing?
No.
Off the record? I won't
No.
say anything. I
No,
swear.
it's just we call it Shark Tank. She's talking about menstrual cycle. That's why I said leave it out.
Got
No,
it.
but we call it the newbie pool, and then where you get ready to make contact is the Shark Tank.
All right.
it's
okay.
like fresh meat.
I was gonna ask, is there like a
Term for the ones that suck? Yeah, that's me.
I was like, is there like a sense of anxiousness?
Oh, hell
when you
yeah.
see the new
Yes.
bloods, like, oh, I'm gonna fuck that.
No, it's
one up.
scary being the new blood.
Absolutely not.
No, they're not out. There are people that come. They're not out to hurt you. Like you're not even legally allowed to hurt other people.
Yeah.
Like there's so many rules that, and that's why they have the guidelines. But
Can't
being the
elbow
new
anybody.
person coming in, it's terrifying. Like because they look all badass, and you're over here like, I can skate in a circle, yay! Right?
And I just
so
skate
hard.
this tiny circle.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm like,
big
look at me! I
circle.
finally went backwards. I didn't just stand there. Like baby steps, literally.
As a vet, I don't look at it that way. When y'all come in, we try to be as open about it. You know, we want to talk to them and be like, you know, come on in, let's do this. Don't feel shy. We're not going to hurt you.
Yet.
I was waiting for it.
I'm in the bad corner, apparently.
Right?
It's
Where you belong.
It's just so I can see her better too.
Yes.
I'm used to this.
Jesus.
Anyway, At least that's how I feel, and I
wasn't
don't
ready.
think any of the other ladies feel that way either. And we're just
Yeah, I
ready
feel the same way.
and waiting for them to get up there with us so we can teach them, all the more advanced stuff, and they can go, look what I can do. Because there are things that you struggle with, like just one thing, and each person will have something different.
6-inch jump.
And then they'll get it, and it's just like,
They celebrate with you, like, and they'll cheer you on.
Yeah,
It's like,
you
oh, you did
did
better
it.
that
I'll
time.
be over in the newbie pool, and they'll be watching us, and I do something, I'm sitting here celebrating, and all of a sudden you hear clapping in the background, and you're like, wait, y'all are watching me. And it's just that, like, little ego boost that you have, because it's like, holy shit, they just witnessed me do this. I'm celebrating for myself, and I mean, everybody's just here with me, making me feel like $100 bill because I just did something that I wasn't able to do a month ago.
That's cool.
I personally love to see new people join the team because it's a progression of the team. The team never stays the same.
Mm-mm.
It never stays the same from year to year. You always want to add new people because otherwise the team is never going to continue if we don't have new people come
It
in.
becomes
So,
stagnant.
we won't grow. Yeah.
So it's always exciting when we
Yeah.
get new people.
And each new person, whether they know it or not, they're bringing something different that the rest of us don't have, and it adds to the team.
A melting pot.
Yep.
I like it.
Or like one of those little wax candle things that just
Just
all
leave
the
it.
scents
It's a
melt.
melting pot.
I don't like the melting pot.
I think
I've
I'll
seen
She wants to be a tart warmer. Okay,
Good.
we're the melting pot. She's the tart warmer. Got it.
That's great.
That was
You're not
good.
gonna
She's
join me,
the sensei.
You're not gonna join me?
I don't. I'm scared now. I definitely don't want to go over there with Lady Macbeth. I guess I need to rise on my side.
I'll take care of you.
She doesn't need you to take care of her. She needs me. We have the same name,
I
okay?
doesn't need anybody. I'm a strong, independent woman.
Are we fighting over her now?
Yeah,
I know.
You just want to be in a fight.
What happened was.
Like I said, judge free zone.
Just move the microphone when you see one of us fly across the table.
Hey,
It's been a while
Yeah,
since
that's a
we've
really
had
nice
contact.
mic.
Oh shit! I just caught that.
so let me ask you guys, because this is just one aspect of you guys' lives. So how do you manage to balance this and your personal lives?
It's a good question.
I threatened my daughter to get in the bath before her dad hollered at her since I wasn't going to be home tonight. Like, don't make me feel guilty because I'm not home. If you could just handle your little 10-year-old life for a little bit, that'd be super great. Mommy needs a minute.
My kids get really excited because I take them up to the rink with me for practice because my husband is our coach. And so he's hiding out over there somewhere.
Coach.
But they love going up there because they can run around and get a whole lot of energy out. I just have to figure out, which event I need to do is most important. And then if something is going on with my kids, they come first, obviously.
Right.
Yes. But it's hard.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Anyone else?
I was just going to say I have the support of my wonderful husband, Chad. You're the bomb.
Hey,
Shout out.
get those cookies.
Shout out to the men that with his
Hey.
wife.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously,
The Derby
because
widows.
I'm not home to do dinner or even
Right.
to put my kids to bed. I won't be there to put my kids to bed at night, which they're not real little, but still, I do put them to bed every night, and they
Our normal routine.
right
has
and
to
so
suffer a
when
bit.
you're not there. The husband has to do it. He
Right.
has to cook dinner. He has to do the homework with the kids, so it's much appreciated.
Right.
And that's a big thing is spouse or significant other, their support. You need it.
Right.
Because we've had people come through who didn't have it and they weren't able to stick it out.
That sucks too.
Or in my case,
Spouses
like
are
my
awesome.
ex-husband. That was part of
When
the
you-
reason
when you
I
have to
divorced
choose,
my
then Derby
ex-husband because
wins.
he was not okay with it. But
Well,
She solved that problem. Here she is.
She made a choice.
I made the better choice.
I don't know. With me, I I work at Lambert's Cafe, so shout out to Lambert's. Y'all go eat there, you
I
know.
love that.
Hey.
Free?
But I get you 50% off. Because
Okay.
I know you.
She'll throw you some extra
Gotcha.
rolls.
I'm a baker there, so I actually do every position. But during the summer, it's real hard to get to anything because we're working. I mean, I get there from 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'll be there till midnight some nights.
Oh my God.
Because we have 5-hour waits. You know, we're supposed to close down at 9 o'clock at night.
The lobby's full.
Yeah, we still have a 2.5 hour wait, and then
them.
you have to, you know, do everything up. But my bosses, they think it's the shit that I do roller derby. So he'll work with me. He'll be like, all right, what nights do you need off? And I'll tell him, hey, as long as it's not really a Saturday night, which kind of sucks because that's one of our busiest nights, they'll give me the time I need off. And then my mom, you know, she'll support me like, hey, do you need gas money? You know, you good? And I'll be like, yeah, I'm good, you know, I got it, I'm good. But really, it's mainly about my job, trying to balance it with that, because you don't want to lose your job, too.
Yeah, bills. They're real. They're real.
So, but because my managers think it's so cool, they'll be like, all right, well, here. And they even they'll buy tickets from me, just so we can get the money. They won't even come to the game sometimes, but they'll buy the tickets. Yeah, just to support me, which I think is
They
crazy
should come to the
amazing.
game anyway for support.
I know, but you know, I'll go to work. I'll have 10 tickets on me and be like, "Hey, does anybody want to try to come to a roller derby game if y'all at work?" I have people who work with me that buy the tickets. My managers buy the tickets. You know, they'll let me put up posters for the ballots and posters for practice and all that. So they just help a lot with the support, which I think is amazing. Like in all the jobs that I've worked a lot of jobs. I won't laugh at my age. But in all the jobs I've worked, they've given me the most support. They've been there for me the most when I need them through anything. Just the same like them.
And I think it's those jobs that realize that the happier you are outside of work, you'll translate that to work. So that's kind of a hand in hand.
It's our
situation.
stress reliever.
Yeah. And plus,
meantime.
getting that validation and support from anywhere is pretty big. So
It's frowned upon to hit people at work.
Yeah.
You gotta do it in your off time.
Unfortunately.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they won't let me like throw a roll at their face or anything. I'll try to grab it. Shut up.
Okay, any other questions?
All right. So I wanted to go one by one with this question. So if I can get each of you to answer this, and we'll just go in order. What experience do you find, or have you found, to be the most memorable of all?
Of course, I gotta be first.
I crafted these questions.
Yeah, the friendship, honestly, because like I said, I spent probably 4 years here alone. As a stay-at-home mom, and my third child was born. He was born at 30 weeks, and so we didn't leave the house for a year. And within that year, my fourth child was born. They were both big surprises. And then he was born with a heart defect that we didn't know about. He had to have heart surgery. And so again, we spent it was probably a good 2 years. I didn't leave the house for anything other than doctor's appointments. And then a move fell through. We were going to move back home with my family in Florida, and it fell through. So we stuck around, and my daughter's first grade teacher told me about it because she played. And I thought, I really need something because I was getting really down. I didn't know anybody. And I walked in, and it was just, they welcomed me immediately. And so, not everybody that welcomed me then is here now, but there are still a few faces, and I love it.
Did you see me from outside?
Yes, I saw you. So yeah, friendship.
Okay.
My first bout that I ever seen, I didn't know anything about roller derby. I just knew the name roller derby. So the first bout I ever went to, we practiced on wooden floors. So we traveled to a rink somewhere in Louisiana, and they had,
Is that Monroe?
probably, and they had cement floors.
Oh.
Yeah.
So my first thought was cement floors.
They're actually better than Moore's.
Yeah, they skate faster, but if you hit that
It
floor,
doesn't matter.
it's just splat, 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 splat.
Yeah.
it was really intense, really horrible to watch. We didn't win that game, but their sportsmanship and patience, like watching my team members take hits because the other team is playing dirty, and it's like you're already winning by a lot. So for you to be hitting, I shouldn't be seeing uppercut. Like, it was horrible. Yes.
They were out for blood.
And, I mean, like, it was bad. And it wasn't that my team isn't tough and they couldn't, like, go back and, you know, play dirty as well. But they have good sportsmanship and patience.
High ground.
Yeah. And so just to watch them take that L, the way they took the L, it was nice.
That's dope. Heart.
Thank you.
Can we take the name out, like Monroe out? Can we?
Yeah,
take that?
I'll beat
Thanks.
that. Gotcha.
Don't want any hard feelings.
There are neighbors.
We don't play them anymore. Just
Yeah.
just
But
Thank
still,
goodness.
they could still, you know.
Yeah.
That was when I got
I'll
elbowed
beat
in the
it.
nose. It was the reason I got a face mask.
Mental.
I thought I was the
times
reason
10.
you had a face mask.
Oh, I couldn't touch my nose for a couple months.
Okay, I want to hear that story.
That one, it was the same game that she got hit in the chest. I think it was right before she got hit. I was behind the pack, and just out of nowhere, I got an elbow right to the face, right here, busted my lip, and my nose was bleeding, and I couldn't touch my nose for months. Like, you know how you just go to scratch your nose. I did it once and almost cried. It was bad. I thought it was broken there for a while.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then it didn't help. She hit me at practice
Twice.
Like the next practice after the game, she hit
Twice
me in the face. So I ordered a helmet with a face mask.
It was an accident. Both times.
I still love it. I can get you back.
She's saving it up.
I cannot wait for Monday.
I will be here. I had class that night, but
Get your insurance so we can do some contact.
Word.
Honestly, I'd have to agree with Felicia. Friendship is one of the main things. I went through high school, and I went to Fairhope, and there was a lot of bullying that went on there towards me, which some of it was brought on by myself. I brought it to myself only because I was open about who I was.
What do you mean?
I'm bisexual. I like males and females. But at the time, I didn't really like males as much as I did females, and I was open about it.
Okay.
And a lot of the people in Fairhope, I don't want to make this sound offensive, but most of them are very close-minded. They're not very openly accepting of who or what people are. They just want you to be rich in the fruit and berry section.
Follow the norm.
Yeah, and I didn't. Of course, you can tell I have the colored hair, the gauges, I have the piercing, the tattoos, all of that. And when I found roller derby, it's like I instantly fit in. Like, they just made me seem like everything that happened in my past didn't even matter. Because through everything that I've gone through, I won't say specifics, but, I've had some crazy shit go on. At the end of the day, they're here with open arms, like Felicia or someone who's not here, Shannon. She would sit there, do you want to come over? Do you need to talk about it? Or my Derby sister would just make a phone call to see if I'm okay. And it was just those simple things, like to know that they actually care about me, to know that these people who I didn't know from the beginning to where I'm at now will sit here and go to the end of the world for me is just fantastic. It's just that friendship, that bond that you get when you start is what makes it worth it. Because, yeah, you have a lot of hard work you got to put into it. You got all this. But at the end of the day, through all that hard work, we're all hurting together. We're all stinking together. We're all sweating together. And we're all there for each other. Like, we'll go to Mexican Mondays. And, I mean, we're probably stinking up the whole place. But, we're there. We were in it together.
with our BO. With our conversation as well.
Yeah. We're not going to throw that part into there. But, it's just that friendship that you obtain. Like, you won't find anybody like these people. They're openly weird. They're openly, anything you do, they're there doing it with you. And I got some stories, but we can't talk about those stories.
Hey.
We can't talk about those
We'll
stories.
talk about Fight Club.
First rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club.
All right.
I'm new to this whole thing. This is my first full season with them, and so I don't have a lot that way. But I'm a PTA president. I own a nonprofit. Like my world is so structured and so like organized, and I'm leading everything. And to come in here and for it to just be really freaking hard and put in so much work, but like have this support of all these other strong women, like that's exciting to me because this is, I lead and I do a lot in my life, and this is something that I have a lot to learn in. So it's exciting. It's a challenge that I don't have other places. I have that part handled, and this is something that's totally new. So I'm just excited for the chaos of it all and a lot of work. Yeah, I need a good, healthy chaos fit in my life versus something that's just for me. I just need a me time.
Sure, this is healthy chaos.
Yeah, I need the balance so that I don't go crazy in my other part of my life.
Right.
So is it safe to say, like, when you guys get together for practice, do you have like that collective? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You can physically see it. They put the pads on. It's like, all right, like
Everything
change
else
gears.
kind of disappears.
Right. Yeah.
And if somebody, once we start doing contact, if somebody comes in and says, "Oh, I had a really bad day, can we do some contact?" We'll throw it in there. Just
to get it out.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Sometimes
I respect that.
need to hit a bitch.
And it does, because after so many times, whether you're hitting and knocking somebody down or you're getting knocked down, it's taking a lot of energy out, and you're just like, you need it.
Is there any time where there was maybe tension or something and you just had to leave it all in the rink?
I've never.
I don't think so.
I mean, and it may not be with each other, just maybe with another team or an outside influence, and you're just like, you know what?
Yes.
Yeah.
This pissed me off today.
Yeah. Yes, we have. Yep.
Okay.
And if you're not in the right state of mind to do derby, some days it's really hard to even get in there and practice. Mm-hmm. I've had those days where I came in, I was pissed off, I was upset from something that happened before I came to practice. And it was like I wasn't focusing. I was always falling. I wasn't doing anything right, I felt like. And I geared down, and I just started breaking down. And, like, my derby sister stopped her entire practice just to come calm me down. Because it was just so hard for me to, I felt like I wasn't good enough to be on the team almost. Because I was watching everybody who had started, after me or with me move up, and I was still down, and on top of everything that had happened outside.
It is intimidating to see how good these people are. Like, they're just, it looks like it comes natural, but we missed their part where they were crying and breaking down and having bruises, and I'm walking in on it being like, oh my God, you're so cool, I want to be like that too. But they were with me at some point, and it sucked, and it was hard and overwhelming, and I'm just excited to try harder.
But when you're practicing and you're new, you don't think of it like that. You're just like, holy shit, I'm never going to be as good as they are. But then one day your time's going to come. And, like, when I came back Monday, that was some of the best practice I've ever had. Like, I had Felicia and Shannon and everybody walking up to me telling me that I blew them away from the way I was practicing. And it'd never been like that for me. But, I went out, I lost some weight, I got healthier for myself, came back and did it, and it was just like I was 100%. Like, I was on point with almost everything. Like Felicia said, I used to say I can't do it a lot, and I said it one time that night because I was going too fast to do a turn. And I told her I couldn't do it, and that was the only time I said it that night. She told me, slow down, take your pace, take a slower pace. I did, and I didn't say I can't.
Right.
That is a big thing we ask that you don't do when you come in. Don't say I can't. You add that yet to it, and you'll get there. But if you say I can't, you won't.
Right.
You'll be in your own mind and you can't do it. That's how it goes. But if you say, oh, I don't have it yet, but I will, because you will. It does. It takes time. And, I mean, like you were saying, there are still things that some of us struggle with. And you're going to see it soon, right? once we really start getting into this, you're going to see
the strengths and weaknesses, and we all have something to work on, regardless of what stage we're at.
But one person, like, if you don't have this strength, there's going to be another person on that team that does, and that's where that melting pot comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Or the tart warmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes back full circle. I like that. She was holding that.
Yeah.
She was waiting.
You let the too easy.
Also, though, like, you have one person up there, telling you how to do something, and say you're not getting it that way. Somebody else has a different way of doing it and does it just as well, if not better, can
something
come
clicks
to
different.
somebody who's struggling
and
say,
I've already
hey,
had
try
that
it
happen.
this way
Right.
instead.
It's kind of like math.
And it's
people no, that's serious. Some people
it's hard,
learn
but eventually
differently.
you have to figure it out.
Yeah, you have to find different methods. Now this new math.
Oh, Jesus.
Are you talking about the
that's
happy math
just-
or whatever?
my daughter started doing
That's
it.
not
Oh
real
my
math.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my
I
fourth
do
grader's
trig
about to
twice a
pass
week.
me up, so.
My daughter has started
Really?
doing multiplication
Yeah.
of like triple digits, and I was like, "Oh, this is how we do it."
Math
She's like,
scares
no.
And she was like, "What
Yeah.
in the world are you doing?"
No,
So
my
how
daughter
do you
brought
do
some
it?
diagram home about this turtle shitting out an egg, and that was the answer. And I was like, how in the world does this make any sense?
That's just like you have.
She was
6
like, they're
waffles
laying
and
an egg. I
5
was like, the
apples.
turtle
How
is
does
shitting
it
an
end
egg out. What are they teaching you? Oh.
Math,
Those
Mom.
teachers said we never have a calculator in our hand. Look at us now. Okay,
wow,
so.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's true.
Now.
All right. What about you?
I think for me it's going to be kind of a mimic of the same. The camaraderie, the team. I played full contact football for probably 10, 12 years.
I'm so
I didn't tell about
Yeah.
that. That's awesome.
Yes.
Right.
I loved absolutely every minute of it, but it got to a point where we didn't have the team to support, the team members to support having a team. When you're playing a game and you're like, okay, offense on the field, defense on the field. Okay, let me turn around. I'm ready. There's none of this, hey coach, take me out. I need some oxygen on the sidelines. It's, suck it up, Buttercup. Get out there.
Hey, welcome to Mobile's Derby Darlings.
Because it is the same way right there.
Yeah.
Everybody jams.
Everybody.
And you're going to be out there going, I can't do it.
How many
Oh, yeah.
jams can you?
You can't
how
do
many
it yet.
jams can you go?
Yeah.
Sit down.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
I hit a point where I started missing being on a team.
Yeah.
So I did a Google search and all of a sudden, boom, there it is. I'm like,
What the hell?
oh, what? There's a practice coming up. They're inviting newbies out. What the hell? We'll try it. Let's see how many times I fall. If I don't die the first practice, I guess I'll come back.
My mom bought me padded shorts so that I wouldn't bust my butt anymore. So I'm excited to try those out next week.
So our old coach used to say, if you're not falling, you're not pushing yourself.
Right. I remember that because I've fallen at least once in
Oh,
practice.
not trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first time it shakes you to your core. You're like, dude, I haven't fallen like that since I've been a kid. Like, how often as adults do you just fall on the floor? Like, not very often. I mean, unless drinking's involved. But
I mean, I could trip over a blade of grass and not be drinking at all. So.
but it hurts.
Sound like
We're not going to laugh at you, but we will laugh with you.
Right.
No, they make sure. They 100% make sure you're okay when
That's
you
the
fall.
key.
Because there
And
was
then
at
they'll
one
laugh.
point, I
Right.
thought I broke my thumb. Because I forget, I landed and I tried to catch myself, and I felt it pop. And then they sat there, they made sure I was okay, and then I'm just sitting there, I got up, and I was just like, alright.
Then they're like, I told you not to fall like that.
Yeah, I told you. We told you to fall.
Fingers in! Yeah.
So you get made
There's a
sure
right and a
you're
wrong way to
okay.
fall. I learned that real quick.
They make sure you're
Pick a
okay.
cheek. I've been
and
screaming
then-
that. Pick a cheek.
So
Yep.
tell me how to fall, because I just
Pick a cheek.
So when you go to fall, you want to do everything you can to go
Not
forward
go
because
backwards.
you have elbow pads, wrist
Okay.
guards, and knee pads.
It
that are
doesn't
gonna
hurt when you
cushion
fall that
your
way.
fall. Yes.
It's when you don't listen and fall the other way.
When you start out, you do tend to fall back. So we tell you to pick a cheek because if you land straight in the middle, you can really do a lot of damage.
Jeez.
I clenched when you said that.
Soccer knows all about that.
Yeah.
My booty is recovering
Yeah.
from
A hit.
being, I broke my tailbone in 2015. And it's still not fully healed. It's
During-
So
broken.
Yeah.
that is actually true.
Yeah,
I've
actually
heard
can
that.
happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That injury
my
happened
Coccyx.
about 4 weeks
Wait.
before the first real game that I ever played, and so I never went to the doctor because I was playing in that game. I mean, duh.
I worked my ass off to get here.
I didn't even quit. I just kept
Literally.
going. So
You're badass.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
I want to cry.
now I wear it's called ass armor shorts that
Still
has
armor.
a big hard padding in the back.
Yeah, that'll only happen once before you realize the importance of that.
It's like you laugh at it till you need it.
Exactly.
So,
Preventative measure, that's where I'm at
It's
now.
like
There
the
you go.
father that falls down the stairs carrying the child or something. It was on a TV show. It was on a TV show. He caught the baby. He caught the baby.
That was dark.
I'm actually justifying it I
Get in your
said,
time warmer. Just stay there.
I need to go back to my time warmer.
Still pretty bad. All right, my resident stalker, what you got for me?
Oh God, you guys all. I should have gone first to just get mine out of the way because mine's not nearly as cool as theirs.
Okay.
I was wearing a corset once.
Another great way to start a story.
Yeah.
First time I've ever
So
worn
hot.
a corset. I did it for her.
Yes.
I did walk up.
She
to
didn't
you
know
though.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was at a fair helping my friend with his podcast stuff, and they had a booth across the whatever that is park.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband said, "I think that's a roller derby booth." And I went, "Okay, cool." And I just walked over and walked up, and she was like, "We have a newbie clinic." And I was like, "All right, cool." And I did it while I was at the thing, and I paid for it and signed up so I wouldn't back out once I took my corset off.
Right.
Well, you
I did. I was like, I have so much confidence.
You stayed in podcast too.
Yeah.
For a while. You watched the videos that we had set up.
I saw you up there in the corset. I was like, okay. So I skated up and so. You don't remember me.
No,
though.
so
I
she's
do.
not
It was
BSing.
a-
She's
No. Yeah, it was
The World's Fair?
Yeah, it was a World's Fair where
Interdimensional World Fair.
Yes.
It was a
Yeah.
steampunk thing that was
Yeah.
going on in Mobile.
I like that. So she's not
October.
bullshitting.
It's a kind of
Yeah, no,
cosplay.
Her stalker story is totally real too.
Yeah.
She was wearing a red corset.
It was purple and
Purple?
black.
I thought it was red.
It had lots of colors, but it's
You're not
mainly
a very good
purple,
stalker.
which happens to be my favorite color.
Maybe, yeah. Okay.
But I like to dress up. I commit really hard to things, so I found out about that fair a week before it happened, and immediately went on Amazon and got the corset.
I'm gonna
I was
do
like,
it. I'm gonna do
wearing
it.
a corset to the fair,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you got that corset.
Yeah.
Gave you the confidence
Right?
to.
I did.
Jump in.
And there's a line in there that said, "What brought you to roller derby?" And I said, "My corset gave me confidence."
I remember that,
I
yeah.
like it.
That's perfect.
She had to come talk to me. That was the
I
first
just
time.
stood there too, and you were like, "Hey," and I was like, "Hey, I think I said I recognized you from somewhere."
I get that a lot.
From your window.
She did stalk her.
Say that
She had been stalking you for like
though.
a year at this point.
This was the main chance you got to be face to face.
She just thought you were beautiful.
Like, hi, you look really familiar.
I think I've been in your
Here's our
bedroom.
pamphlet. Come see us. And I was like, okay. $20, I'll be there.
Get to be closer.
I promise we're not weird.
Y'all are too much.
Yes, we are, but that's okay.
Don't forget the butts.
Your bubble goes to die in Derby.
There's
We're
no
all
honesty
in
here.
that business.
There's no, like, for birthdays, we do this lineup. You have half and half
My butt
lining
still
up, and you
hurts.
get pushed
tunnel.
down the middle of it, and they get to slap your ass.
You get birthday
And if you're
stamps.
and if you're smart, you'll be at the beginning of the line, so you can go to the back like I did with her, and get an extra slap in on there.
2 slaps.
Yep.
And if you double hand it,
we
you
all
get
did,
3.
we could just constantly keep going.
Oh, God.
Just keep it going, guys.
That'd be,
true.
that'd be
Why does
fun.
it have
I
to
mean,
be
it
the
was
one?
quite fun, but geez, at some point,
Isn't it?
It does. You
Moderation.
know, it starts to hurt
It's
really
got-
I'm
bad.
gonna wear my butt
Pushing
pads
on
that
its
day.
skin or something.
Yeah, because you have the bump on your wrist card, and if you get it just right, like there's gonna be that shape on your ass.
Anyway.
I'm gonna be quiet.
When is your birthday?
My
Is it Monday?
Mrs. would not be happy with that.
She doesn't have enough.
She can get the first and the last.
Right.
Well, they heard it here first. No. but,
Free birthday spanking.
If you want free birthday ass slaps, come to roller derby.
If you like spankings, we're your group.
Catch line. We need a banner.
Yes, Mr. First.
No,
Me.
no, in order.
In order,
In
dude.
order.
Softer, did you go yet?
Come on,
Yes,
OG.
she did.
Oh,
no, she didn't.
Oh, how?
because she.
I have to go again now. I'll just come up with another one.
Okay.
Soccer.
Okay, well, so my story is about a very difficult task that you have to pass as a newbie, which is your 27 and 5. It will test you to the very core of who you are as a person in order to pass this test. So basically what it equates to is you have to skate 27 laps in 5 minutes. That is 1 mile. 27 laps around that track is 1 mile.
I
And so as a newbie, from the
didn't either.
first day
Can't
that I
even run one
started
time.
to when I finally passed my laps, it took me 8 months to pass.
Jesus, I better get started.
So the night that it happened, we had several skaters from like Arizona visiting our team, and it was the night, and I passed it, and I cried, and my whole team surrounded me, even the people I didn't even know, and it was very emotional.
Can I say fuck yeah?
Right.
Fuck yeah,
I look
okay.
forward to that moment, man.
It was the best night of my life, honestly,
This is my
because
season.
you work
something.
so hard.
Mhm.
I mean, like there would be practices. I would do it at every practice, and I would cry in my car.
Not seeing any
when I got
progress
home,
or
because
right.
I mean I'm not a young person. I've started this.
Shitting me.
I started when I was 38, so I'm well over 40 now, and I have my birthday very soon. So
Butts space.
yes, like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, hand up.
So it's
I'm gonna buy
even
a
more
whip.
of a challenge,
Right.
You know, I mean, in your 40s, you don't expect him to be
doing
hitting
that.
a concrete floor,
Right.
you know, and get up quickly
That's the
and
main-
keep going
right.
like nothing happened. So you know, it's a pretty big accomplishment,
Yeah.
and you know,
I
you
wanna cry
feel
for you.
the confidence that you feel from Derby. You feel like you can accomplish anything.
Mhm.
You're like, whatever, you know, I could do that. You know,
Right.
just set your mind to it. You can do it.
That's what's up. So I'm not gonna lie, got a little misty right there, right here. I had to blink a couple times, but
That 27 and 5 is
It's not
yeah.
That shit ain't no
5
joke.
minutes. Hell.
it's hard.
Oh.
I think I had to get to 25 one time, and I had like missed it by 10 feet. And I think I just went into a knee slide and cried on the floor while everybody de-geared and left.
I mean, there's times when you finish it and you can't even
Yeah.
get air into your
Yeah.
lungs
Mhm.
because you're just like you feel like you're gonna die.
You can't move your legs. Your legs
It's
just
really
collapse up
hard.
under you.
Yeah.
Not to discourage y'all.
And then all this time,
I can't
everybody's
wait
like,
to
keep
try this.
skating,
It's
keep skating,
hard.
don't stop.
Right.
No, I'm stopping now. Thank you.
Stretch it out, go the other way.
Right.
So it's a challenge.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot
But
of
it's
things.
worth it.
I
Yes, it is.
I just turned 30, and it's like that was my back
such
of my
a
mind.
baby.
I was like, I had a friend that used to skate on a team over Mississippi, and I've watched her bouts, and I'm like, my timeline after 2 kids of throwing yourself on the floor on purpose is like narrowing, and if I don't do it now, I'm not gonna try it like later than now. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right now before I get too much older and back out and chicken out.
Right now.
It's gonna hurt a lot worse as
There's
it
one
gets
great
over.
thing too.
True.
I'm the baby on the team, and I fucking love it. I fucking love it.
Is that like something that you've
It's
approached?
a lady of shit.
Like, are you the baby?
I know, right?
Yeah, like she just a minute ago was just like, how old are you? And I was just like, how old do I look? She's like 26, and I'm like, no, I'm not even near that. I'm not even 21 yet.
Oh, hush. God.
Right.
Dude. 32 this year, dude. You're making
I
me-
just want to throw
I'm
things
about
at her,
to
doesn't
pass.
it?
I'm about to pass that 3-0.
I remember being
I'm not ready.
irresponsible.
I don't remember being 20.
I wonder why.
Dude. I used to get, oh my God.
Or 21, 22.
Dude, between like 18 and like 25 was
The blur.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Man,
I had
There's
4 kids
some-
in that time.
I know, right? Yeah.
There's some moments I will say I don't remember, and a couple of them were because of this team.
I will say this though, enjoy them because you'll blink and you'll be 30. I'm just gonna be real with you.
Oh my God.
If you don't hear
30s.
anything else I have to say, enjoy it now because not trying to bring a downer on it. I'm just telling you from experience.
I thought 30 was older, and then I became 30. I was like, shit.
30
I'm
is
just
like
getting
your
in my
best
rhythm now.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm getting in my groove now. I got the kids out of the way. Like,
I
I'm
just
me
got
now.
responsible.
Yeah.
We're good.
Like-
Yeah.
It's that meme where you're a kid and you're like, oh, middle schoolers are so cool, and then you become a middle schooler.
Right, right.
High schoolers are so cool, and then you become a high
I want to be
schooler.
21. I
College
wanna be-
kids are
right.
so cool. And then, you know, adults are so cool, and you're here, and you're like, where's the adults?
Right.
Yeah.
I need
Like, I
somebody.
wished.
I need somebody that's adultier
Right.
than I am. Looking around the room for an adultier
Yes.
person.
I still get freaked out when a kid calls me sir. Like I
Yes,
kid
sir.
you not. It
Yeah.
still catches me off guard. I
I
like.
mean, I am today.
Right.
Oh my God.
I'm like, dude, you ain't gotta say that. know you're the sweetest, most respectful little child on earth, but don't call me ma'am.
And then this guy was like, he's my neighbor because I live in an apartment. He's maybe 22. And he served me. I'm like, bruh.
That's too old for that.
Are we the same level here?
Right. No, Jeremy. Jeremy.
Now you know he's openly, putting you in a whole nother bracket. Right?
Yeah,
Like, only on my podcast.
Right.
Right.
Even then, I don't think I like it.
The funny thing is, I had a fan approach me at an event, and I was like, just call me Jeremy. And they was like, no, we meant your persona. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right, I was in So I had that happen before. Yeah, it was downtown. It was hilarious. It was in front of a lot of people, too. They thought it was planned. I was dead serious.
I was serious, guys.
No, I got you. You put yourself in my shoes and got you. All right.
All right, Skip.
Game time.
The quiet one on the team.
She is too.
Yes.
Those quiet ones you gotta watch out for.
Not that yet. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
But Derby opened up like family. Like these girls are my family, and my closest friends I've ever made is through Derby. The camaraderie is just amazing. That's about it.
Oh, we love you, Skip.
There's so much love for you, Skip. Oh, God.
Oh.
Monday.
Oh my God.
It's getting physical.
Monday.
I won't be there. I'll be doing trigonometry.
Whatever.
Y'all can take it out right here on the...
Right. Got an open space.
Oh, you can do leg wrestles. Yes.
Yes.
That is a thing, and I didn't know it until the
think
Christmas
my
party.
ass
It is
I
a
had
whole
no
thing.
idea it existed, and then they're like, let's do this. And y'all are all
I've
drunk.
never seen it.
Drunk leg wrestling.
I've never
In
seen
onesies. In
Oh,
onesies.
yes, in onesie pajamas.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else are you gonna wear?
They're harder to take off when you're drunk, so I guess that's why I decided to choose those.
I wasn't.
No, I neither.
We don't want to know.
I'm going to rein it in just a tad bit. Just a sprinkle. I'm just going to pull it back just a tad.
Loose buttons.
All right. So I guess one of my most memorable things about this team, even though I've played Derby off and on for a really, really long time, I had my first bout with these guys. And, I was in no way prepared for that mentally or physically or anything. And I got my ass handed to me. And then I remember soccer told me, she's like, you spent half the bout on the floor. I'm like, where's the first one?
I don't think I said it like that.
I don't know.
Received it.
It sounded like that to me. But then after that, I became, I guess, also getting medical insurance outside of my WIFT insurance kind of boosted my confidence a little bit more. And after you hit the floor 80 times in one game, it's like nothing is gonna stop you then. Just throw yourself into it and let's do this. Fuck it.
Chuck it in the fuck it bucket.
Nothing is good. Nothing, as long as I, protect myself very well. Nothing is probably going to happen worse than what happened in that bout, as far as physically to me. So
live and learn.
After that, I just came back with I didn't get to play in our last bout because of work. I do construction and I work shutdowns and different stuff, and so it's I was working 7 days. But yeah, in practice, I definitely it became no holds barred, because if you don't practice if you practice like you're playing with your friends as opposed to you're not friends, then you're gonna practice or you're gonna play with your not friends like you practice with your friends, and you really can't do that. So, but it's honestly like what they said. It's a sisterhood. I don't like that many females. I don't get along with females very often.
I hear that a lot.
But these
from women.
girls, like, I've totally, like, I don't know, we kind of hang out and we fit together like this weird, like, island of misfit toys or something.
Or it's like that puzzle piece you lose and that one person comes in and they just complete that puzzle.
Oh, now that was
That
kind
was
of
so
poetic. Yeah.
the nicest thing you've said this evening.
Missing puzzle piece.
Let's end on that.
Stolen that from Walmart.
Before she gets another chance.
I'm pretty sure I read that on the card.
I don't know.
You might have saw it on television.
And that's what I mean.
Well, if I stole that from anybody, I'm sorry. Please don't sue me.
Hallmark.
Please don't. Dash
Forwarding to you.
unknown.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So, this is honestly probably my favorite question because usually everyone has a different aspect or outlook when dealing with this one. Say someone is looking to join and they've come to you specifically to ask you, some questions about roller derby. If they are, I guess, needing encouragement, like what encouraging words would you have for them specifically?
There's something that I tell myself on days when I don't want to go to Derby is I will regret not going, but I won't regret going. So if you just go, you won't regret going. But if you stay home, you'll wonder, what could I have accomplished tonight for going?
Right.
So that's
Like
my
that.
words of
Good
wisdom.
luck topping that.
Right.
Well, no, we don't.
On a tally on
Good
your
team.
answer.
I said sure. I don't care.
That was smart.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
was good.
Ditto.
Topped.
Anyone else?
Oh, she quoted Patrick's Swayze.
I don't know. I would honestly just tell them, not only is it something fun just to get your mind off of stuff, but it's different. You don't see derby out there. A lot of guys, they got football, they got baseball. Like, I used to play baseball as a kid, but as I got older, I wasn't allowed to play baseball anymore. With this, because it was mainly a male sport, they didn't have a female team for me to play on. I didn't like softball.
What the F, yo?
Yeah, I didn't like softball. And so when you look at it in a female aspect, I know it's called co-ed, but it's like as you can grow with it, you don't have to stop at any age. Like, you have so many different ages here.
Yeah.
It's not about the age, it's about your determination. It's about what you want to do. If you look at it and you say, this is interesting, come try it. It will not ever hurt you to take a risk in your life, because if you're not taking risks, then you're not living life.
Also, I've got an answer now. So, it's a contact sport. Yeah, boom. You inspired me. Thank you.
I got you.
Yay. It's a contact sport, but it's very feminine, and we're able to do glitter and makeup and fishnet tights and little bitty boy shorts, so we can be sexy and tough. So you definitely, want to have some of that in your back pocket.
Yep.
Perfect.
It's a challenge, but it's fun. So give it a try. Don't
Not
tell
only
me.
that, I'll say that all body types, there are people that are very small and very thin to women that are bigger, and they excel, not only succeed, but can excel at roller derby.
Everybody
So
has
it's definitely
They do a different
sport.
position better than the one that has to be fast. We can block better. We got your back, yo. Yeah.
It's definitely a sport that's all inclusive.
That is.
You don't feel excluded by your
Definitely not.
by your look, your style, your physique, your anything like that. It's an open book and it's nice.
I think
And that
is
reminds me
important
of a quote that I read in a book.
in the Hallmark card.
No, it was actually in a book.
At Walmart.
No, I'm not going to say where I read this one at, but at the end of the day, the king and the pawn go in the same box. The way I look at it,
I like that.
it doesn't matter if you're, like she said, bigger, smaller, rich, poor, we're all going to the same place at the end of anything. So why just sit there and look back and be like, I wish I didn't do this, when you have the opportunity standing right in front of you to go and try it. You don't have to do it your whole life, but you can try it once and go and say, well, I tried this at one point.
Yeah.
Like she said, you won't regret trying it. And if you do, then there's something wrong with you. But honestly, we're all going to the same place, so you need to live life.
And do
Like,
derby.
it's your
Live life and do
Yeah,
derby.
basically, live life and do derby.
Derby is life.
Yes.
I have a sticker on the back of my Vans. It's Derby Life.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it
Derby
is.
Get
Yeah,
it tatted
that's
across your stomach.
Why does that be across the stomach?
Get it on your neck.
I got my
Yeah, I'm gonna get my
Derby life.
She's
some.
got skates this
Yep.
week. Yeah, last week.
Oh,
I think he
dude.
was thinking of that stuff.
Come here. I want to see that. That is dope. I love ink, by the way.
I just got it though, so it's
How long did it take?
3 hours.
Oh my God. That's why I envy you white people. Because we can't do color. I mean,
cool
hey,
color.
we're family now.
Right. You can talk like that.
color
We ain't gonna
doesn't
judge you.
You know, me being dark,
Yeah.
purple
Right.
isn't going to show up
It
on
does
me.
make a
I'm
difference.
like, God, man, I get so jealous.
I don't know, but see, white doesn't show up on me because it took them 30 minutes to get all that white in that tattoo. And
What?
took 3 hours for that one.
Dude.
I'm gonna have to have a tattoo over before the end of this whole thing because I don't have any yet.
I think we should all go get a team tattoo.
That can we do it for the 21st?
I'm down for that.
We got a while for me to
I
get.
have a lot of tattoos.
Peer pressure. Peer pressure.
That's
I know.
Are you gonna come get a derby tattoo with
Oh,
us?
no.
Little baby.
That's what it was there.
No.
I thought we were family now, and he just.
Yeah. Yeah.
He shut us down.
Good try, though. Good try.
He said, fuck you.
Probably my
Nah.
I think the biggest excuse we get when we're like, oh, you know, you should come try roller derby is, oh, I can't do that.
Right.
We will ask, you know, why? I just can't. I'm old, or I'll fall, or I'll get hurt.
Yeah, you're gonna
Like,
fall.
You know what?
You're
You
gonna
can
get
get
hurt.
hurt in a car accident.
Yeah.
This is more fun.
Way more fun. And you
the
know,
story's way better.
if you're at practice, you won't be out running the ropes.
That's true.
And not only that, like with like our parties and stuff that we have, because we do like a lot of, you know, game nights and stuff. If you need a place to stay, most of these girls here are very open. Like Felicia.
You've already said your age. You should probably stop talking.
I'm just saying. It doesn't matter. But I'm just saying. I'm not specifically talking about me. But I'm like, for when we did Mardi Gras
We do not
in
condone
Mobile.
underage.
They don't, for real, they don't. Instead of me driving back across the bay every night, she let me stay here for like 2 days.
Yeah.
So I
Then
could
I
just.
kicked her out. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she did.
You're like,
No.
breaks are over. You got to go.
Now Easter.
But yeah, I mean, they're just, I don't know, they're here to support and take care of everybody. Like, if one person's not here for you, you got plenty of other people to choose from to go talk to, basically. If one's busy, go hit up somebody else on the team and they'll be like, what's up? You know, I'm here to talk. I've done it before. I've hit Amatula up, I've hit Felicia up, Skit sometimes. I mean, her and I don't talk very often, but you know.
Because she's calling
She calling you out.
She said, "Go listen to her."
But I don't know, they're all very supportive, and it's a blessing to have so much support in your life. And that's another thing. Like,
You
that's
can never have
another
too many
reason.
friends.
Yeah. Well, yes, you can.
Okay.
I like how she said it. Yeah. No.
Never mind.
It's all in her family.
And you're just like, okay.
I'll go with that.
Emotional.
Okay.
I'll catch it, and then I'll throw it right
Do not
back.
throw that. Do not throw that.
Don't throw it.
It's not even yours.
Hey, I'll
Somebody
bite
else
you.
is staying at Felicia's house now, too.
Anyway.
Alrighty.
Back to you, sir.
Well, no, I was waiting for anyone else to have any more input.
I'll go buy a corset.
Confidence.
It'll give you the confidence
It'll give
Shred
you.
it.
to stop people.
But
Oh,
don't wear
scared
it to
horses
practice
give you
because that could be
confidence.
mildly uncomfortable.
yeah.
Challenge
You don't want to fall in a corset.
No,
It might help.
especially if
there.
it's metal boning, like that could get kind of stabby.
Definitely wear athletic clothing.
Yeah.
Don't come in jeans or a belt with jeans. Just don't do it. You'll
Spiky
regret it
belts,
instantly.
the hot topic.
Somebody did come to practice with a studded belt and wore it. I was like, you won't hurt.
Oh, that sounds awful. I don't want to get hit by someone wearing a spiky belt.
Well, they were new.
Hip check.
Okay.
Still falling on it, you know.
Hip bones are already bony enough.
Right.
Yeah.
We also like to compare bruises and see who has the best.
We do.
That's the cool weird part I wanted to get to. I knew it was gonna come out eventually.
Yes.
I'm glad it did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you come in and you'll be like
anywhere else so far.
Well,
I'm not good at falling forward. And then they
Okay,
get on
I
to
was
you.
gonna ask.
Like you're doing it on purpose. And you're like, wrong way. My bad.
I'll fall better next time. I'll plan ahead.
You really do, though.
You have
You
to
have muscle
yeah.
memory to
Fall
go
forward.
forward. Because your butt is like, no.
If I knew I was gonna fall forward, I'd just skip it and not fall at all. But you know, sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
Hey, once you felt that feeling enough times,
Mhm.
you'll fall forward.
Yeah.
Wait till
Every
you land on a skate in a
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
area,
I've done
and
that
it
too.
is
skate rape.
Yep.
awful.
all your
It's a real thing.
unusuals can bruise.
All right.
It is exceedingly painful.
I'd imagine.
Don't sit on a skate.
Don't fall on the skating.
Yeah.
You heard it here, 2020 first. Don't fall on the skate.
That's your advice for 2019.
We're all gonna try to avoid
5.
falling on skates.
Okay.
My New Year's resolution.
I will do that. So no, this isn't a team thing. I'm committed to falling at this point.
Just make sure your feet aren't under you.
Yeah. Yeah. Or someone else's feet.
Oh, that too.
All right.
My worst bruise I've ever had was falling on her skate. One of our last practices of last season.
Yeah.
It
Like-
hurt. Like on my butt cheek.
Okay.
That was a
Right.
nasty, gnarly bruise,
It
too.
I'm
We
very
had
proud of it.
one girl, she's not here tonight, but it was supposed to be my first game, and I couldn't go. My kids were sick, and it was over in Louisiana. But she came back with a bruise like that on her
You're
butt.
like, what the hell did I get myself into?
She was like, oh, did I show you my bruise? I was like, no. And she dropped her pants right there. I was like, check it.
Right. That's exciting.
It's pretty
Badge
awesome.
of honor.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it is. It's
And he's
like,
like,
hey, check this out.
Yes. I don't get bruises on my butt, though. I did have somebody try to do an apex jump. So there's, you've got the
Turn curve.
Yeah, the turn. And they try to jump it. And one guy jumped it, and his skate hit my shin, and I had...
Yeah.
The curse words that would have ensued.
Oh, it did. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
No, I think the worst but funniest fall I've ever had. I was trying to do one of our 6-inch jumps, and we had this foam thing. I don't know what it was, but my wheel had hit it. I fell, and I didn't do my 4-point fall, and I landed on my chest and bounced.
Wind out of you real quick.
Yeah, like I bounced, and then I got up, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Skipping rocks on the river. Right?
That's literally what I meant.
Yeah, that's what it looked like though. Like I bounced. We called it the titty bounce.
Beach wailing yourself across the floor.
It's called a scorpion. If your legs go up, it's called a scorpion.
Right?
So y'all have names.
I've had one where like my elbow and wrist pads didn't slide, but my knees did. So I ended up like
folding it on
this
yourself.
way, my ass straight in the air. So it's just like
Fetal
I was waiting
position on
just
the
for
floor.
it. Yes. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's enough for today.
On that oh wait, there's more.
There is more. Like, we could talk to you about this all night.
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably will cut out a couple things, but I appreciate you guys letting me come interview you guys. You guys are hilarious.
Thank you
yes.
for coming.
So again, this is Sir of 2020 Podcast signing off. Thank you guys again. You guys are the greatest.
Thank you.
Thank
So-
you.
Make sure I get the clapping.
Man, look, I tried to tell y'all, them girls are funny, and they are definitely worth the while. I want to thank you again to the Mobile Derby Darlings. You guys are the greatest. And if you're interested on being on a Business Minute or just being on the podcast, shoot us an email. Get up with us. Our email is 2020datingpodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's 2020datingpodcast@gmail.com. We'd be glad to have you. So, this is your boy, Sir. I'm tired. Y'all get up and, yeah, good night. Yeet.